Welcome back to Rome Boys. Joe the Farmer here at the West Texas. I did it again.
Oh, here we go.
At the West Family Catholic Conference in Wichita, Kansas. Yes, not in West Texas. I am roaming away from home. I am here with these guys who are going to tell us about their mission of Adoration for Peace.
Absolutely.
So, Father, would you like to kick it off and tell us a little bit about who you are?
I will, yeah. I'm Father Jarett Konrade from the Diocese of Salina in Kansas, and I've been in Beloit, Kansas, actually, for 4 years. When I first got there, this guy actually, we sat down months after I got there, and he was kind of asking me what some of my desires and dreams were, and I started talking about actually how perpetual adoration was something, or adoration was something that had impacted my vocation, and so I would always dreamed of having a perpetual chapel. I kind of didn't think that was a possibility because it's a small parish, a small community, or smallish, I guess. So. Yeah. And that, I think, started him on a path of like just investigating like how do places do it, and just organizations. And we kind of happened upon, through a mutual friend, introduced us to this organization out of Poland, Comunità Regina della Pace, which means Community of Our Lady Queen of Peace.
And, I can spell that one. I couldn't spell the first one.
Yeah. So the second one, a little easier. I should have just started with that. But anyway, so their whole initiative is adoration for peace through the intercession of our Blessed Mother. And so we started that, 3.5, 4 years ago that we started talking to them. And
So Andrew, you got him roped into this, huh?
Yeah, it was a little bit of just maybe the way a little bit I'm wired myself, and just when he came to the parish, like he said, which led us on to like the foundation I work for is named Adoratio Foundation.
Okay, another one I can't spell.
Latin for adoration.
Okay,
you can spell that one.
Yeah. So deeply passionate about just what adoration does to people, I guess, is the simplified, which all Catholics are hopefully increasingly familiar with.
Right.
And when he said kind of just like, Andrew, I'd really have this desire to increase adoration in our parish. Our parish at the time only had like 40 hours.
It was 40,
sure,
which is great. But
it was weekly. It was weekly.
Oh, weekly.
Weekly,
okay.
40 hours.
Okay.
So it just kind of made us do a deep dive into like some of the research into adoration. We found just simple facts that are worth kind of sharing, that approximately 20,000 parishes in the country.
Okay.
About 4% of those, which equates to about 800, have 24/7. So a really small amount.
Yeah.
4%.
Sure.
On top of that, to put greater quantity to it, about 57% of parishes don't have adoration at all. So you look at the source and summit of our faith, you look at the statistics behind how many people don't go to adoration, go to mass.
Oh, right.
So all this sort of like data. So we said like, there's so many programs, worthwhile programs around the country of evangelization, whereas I guess we grew in our belief, had to discover our rebelief that adoration could be a primary apostolate, if you will, of evangelization.
Yeah.
So that set us on a journey locally, as well as in
now we're going nationally.
Collaboration with
internationally.
Organization in Poland that's kind of based on Revelations 12:1. A woman clothed with the sun and moon under her feet, 12 stars on her mantle. And Father, you might just share a little bit about what their apostolate does in general.
Yeah, when I hear that image, I immediately think, I'm from Texas, so we immediately think Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah.
We just see clothed with the stars.
Mantle.
The mantle has the stars on it.
Yeah, the tilma, I was actually fortunate enough to actually get to go to Mexico City and actually see the tilma in person.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
I'm actually ashamed to say that at the time I didn't know that much about it. And then when we got back, we started learning more about it. We're like, what did we just see? And we didn't even realize it.
Miraculous. Yeah, absolutely. So the organization out of Poland, whole initiative is expanding adoration for peace. They first do it, with individuals, I guess, seeing apostles for peace, getting people to commit to praying these intentions for peace that they come up with once a month, worldwide kind of intentions for peace.
The world could use a little peace.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then peace, talk a little bit about peace.
I think we sometimes, especially in the U.S., I feel like it's almost been distorted as to what, like, peace was captured by the hippies or whatever, or the pageantry,
pageants,
like
yeah.
world peace.
Yeah, what's your
But
favorite
honestly,
day? What's your
yeah.
favorite date?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what is even deeper that is the peace we pray for every time we go to Mass, and the peace that comes from Jesus Christ, which ultimately starts in our individual hearts,
Yeah.
and affects families, and it affects communities,
Marriages.
and it affects marriage. Yeah.
Our own first-
So I think that piece is actually a huge thing that a lot of the places worldwide where this organization is connected has like actual violence, lack of peace,
Sure.
physical violence, lack
War
of peace,
and
wars, civil wars,
persecution, yeah.
genocides, like that kind of stuff. We don't necessarily have that as much right now in our nation. I mean, arguably,
political.
Sure. Yeah.
but the thing that we absolutely have is a mental health crisis. We have a lack of
Absolutely.
peace in communities, hearts, families, and so
Or just in personal peace.
yeah.
I mean, some of these are
That we
talking
all
about-
experience.
Yeah, but that we all experience in some form or another, and then the culture just you do you. You know, you be happy.
Sure.
If you do what you want to do, then you'll be happy. And they're finding out now through
How's that working for us? Right.
Exactly. The people that say do whatever makes you happy, that will make you happy, are the most unhappy people.
Right.
So it's totally going against what they're preaching.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what are we preaching?
Yeah.
We're preaching good news. We want peace.
Yeah.
So part of that, go on. You were saying about the individual level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're also, the initiative is actually having stars on the mantle. So we already talked about that with Our Lady of Guadalupe, that image, but parishes, religious orders, whatever organizations worldwide who would commit to praying these intentions for peace on a monthly basis in the presence of our Lord in the Blessed Sacrament, through the intercession of Our Lady, Queen of Peace, ultimately.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of the second level, is the stars on the mantle, and then the kind of the last initiative, which if
Right.
you want to talk about that.
Which again, it goes back to Revelations 12, their last apostolate, where they're going to put 12 shrines around the world, 12
Okay.
world centers of prayers for peace.
Okay, so there's a goal in this. We're shooting for 12.
That's right.
12
That's right.
locations around the world.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about a little bit where they're at right now. We've got 9?
There's 8 in place.
8 in place. Okay.
Yeah. And Bethlehem was the first one. Of course,
What a
for
perfect place to have the first one.
obvious
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can see them on the map. Medjugorje, where the Virgin appeared.
2 in Africa,
2 in Africa.
Philippines, South Korea, Kazakhstan, so
And now we're working on the first one in the United
North
States.
America.
Right, in North America, which would be in Beloit, Kansas.
Beloit,
Right.
Kansas.
Actually, I guess the first in the Americas, really.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
nothing.
sure.
There's nothing on our
Even
our
South America,
mainland,
North America, right.
So
First in this continent.
yeah.
So, so their apostolates so far, there's 72 parishes in Europe
Okay.
that have been designated the Star on the Mantle of Mary. So
Okay.
while they're still a new organization, I mean, they've only been around since 2008, they're really growing in Europe.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but not so much in the Americas yet. So
Sure.
this is their first move towards the
Why are we
Americas.
so slow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fast in some things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so slow in the things that are important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
So that's our story. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as what the whole thrust is to do is
So-
to
I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off, but who designs the altars?
go ahead.
Great,
So
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so that's one of the realities of the organization, is made up of lay people out of Poland who just got together, and they had all kinds of different roles, I think, in the Catholic culture there, but
Yeah.
also some connections, I think. We found that out visiting over there.
Yeah.
Like, they've got these artists, this father-son studio, that they seem to have a connection into the entire Catholic world of Poland, and it seemed like be connected to, I don't even know what the relationship directly was with Pope John Paul II, but that
They
they
did some artwork.
seem to
for
know
John Paul
some of the
II.
Cardinals,
Yeah.
the players over there.
Yeah, it's not
And,
what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, and so their connections. So they actually do a lot of the design. Well, they do all of the designs for the monstrances, for the chapels, for the altars, which is what they call the kind of the back wall of these shrines. They have
Yeah.
a full wall sort of designed artwork, but then the monstrances kind of set into that. So,
Yeah, and these monstrances, this is an example here.
yeah, so this is kind of a
These
mini
are
sample, basically.
Beautiful.
So,
I mean, very unique, especially. I mean, this one especially, Mary, and having Jesus kind of
Coming.
where he started. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they say
Back
Maxima is that she was the first monstrance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which I
this-
think is key. Yeah, St. Maximin, because I've had that conversation. I had just very few. Everybody else is like, this is amazing, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I've had a couple who are like, it's a little like modernist, progressive. I actually heard that word once, and I'm like, well, St. Maximilian Kolbe, if you want to call him progressive, then I guess you could say that. But
If you want
he's
to,
the one who
I
had that.
would,
He's
yeah.
the one who had the vision of the woman clothed with the sun,
Yeah.
but specifically being a monstrance that actually
Well, and
proceeds from her Christ.
She was the first ark.
Sure.
And you know, the peace comes through Jesus, who came through her.
Right.
So yeah, this is amazing. So the goal right now is to try. What are we trying to do to get one here? It's already set in stone that here in
Yeah.
Kansas.
So they have.
Are we still trying to raise money, or what are we doing?
So we were just notified of this 2 months ago.
Oh wow,
So our
this
knowledge.
is fresh.
Yeah, our relationship has been for about 4 or 5 years, but
Okay.
their selection of Kansas, specifically
Yeah, they're ready to move
Beloit, is only 2 months old. So we're in our very infancy stages of planning for this. So
Okay.
a lot of our first steps is just to create awareness of the whole apostolate itself,
Gotcha.
as well as the shrine to be built.
Do they have a specific date that they want to have it done by, or
Not yet.
Not
They
yet.
have not
Still,
told us that.
like you said, we're
They
in the
just said
infant
get to
stage
work.
here.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
get started.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
awesome, and you guys are the construction workers. I love it.
Trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So we were in Indianapolis 2 weeks ago up there with this booth there, and
Yeah.
made a lot of contacts, just spreading the word. And ultimately, I think it's more than just the shrine is actually the movement, which is adoration, expansion of adoration, expansion of praying for peace. So
Yeah.
I honestly, like, the shrine is a big deal, obviously, in a small
Sure.
town in Kansas, the center, less than 50 miles from the very geographic center of the United States. So
Right.
I think that's part of God's providence with having it there. But beyond that is the movement that we're doing.
And that's kind of what the artist's intention were behind these big monsters. You look at this monstrance, you think it's like a big one.
Sure.
But the ones that they will create for the shrine is the size of this wall. It's gigantic.
That's amazing.
But the whole idea behind it is to artistically create an icon, a biblical icon that's used as a monstrance, is an icon for a movement, a
Sure.
whole movement of increasing adoration across the globe.
And well, if you kind of look at the United States and you look at that map, where's the center?
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
putting this Our Lady of Peace here, this adoration
Yeah.
for peace, right in the center of the United States. That's
Yeah.
amazing. No, I think it's great.
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, thank y'all for taking
Yeah.
some time to visit with me.
Yeah,
Father
appreciate it.
Jarett,
You
and
bet.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you being on. And where can our viewers check y'all out?
Yeah, you'd want to go to www.starsofpeace.org, starsofpeace.org.
Oh, this has been great. I appreciate y'all
Yeah, I appreciate
letting
that
me
opportunity.
pick your brains on this, because this is an amazing movement. I love it. I love it. So in the meantime, be bold, be real,
Be Catholic.
God bless.